Hi world. So apparently my camera don't like me having my glasses on, so I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna try to keep it on because I want this to look very educational, very informative, but my camera is like, girl, get your life. So I'm gonna take it off only because it just won't let me. Anyway, so today's video is gonna be, excuse me, today's video, I'm so excited about it because it's something that I feel like a lot of people need to know. And plus, I'm so tired of everybody saying, what is OT, what is OT, what is OT? So today my video is gonna be just giving you guys a little rundown about what OT is, what OT stands for, what it is that we do, and all that jazz. It's gonna be a very informative video, so stay tuned. I typed everything up so I don't forget, because sometimes I do a video and I forget what I want to say, and then I'm watching the video, I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say that. So I made sure that I wrote down mostly everything that I remember to tell you guys. First of all, let me just clear it up. The OT is not PT and PT is not OT. PT and OT are very similar. We do almost the same thing. Our education is almost the same thing as well. But our goal is different. Even though we do very similar things. So we work together in the rehab centers mostly. So most of the time when you go to a rehab center, you may have seen an OT, but you probably didn't know that it was an OT. You probably thought it was a PT because that's what most people know. Most people know what a PT is, but not a lot of people know what OT is. So OT and PT are like siblings. They're like brother and sister. I'm not gonna go into trying to explain the difference between PT and OT. This video is solely about OT and what we do and all that stuff. But most of the time OTs work with PTs, we work with speech therapists, we work with doctors, we work with nurses, we work with social workers, etc., etc. So what is OT? So OT stands for occupational therapy. What it is that we do is we basically try to rehab people so that they can be as independent as possible in their daily activities. When I say daily activities, I really mean daily activities. Is you getting up from the bed in the morning. Just the getting up in the bed can take, even though we don't realize it because we're healthy, we don't realize that it takes a lot to be able to get up from a bed, to walk to the bathroom, to use the bathroom, to dress, to get in your car and drive to go to work and all that stuff. When someone get injured, like a spinal cord injury, like a TBI, that kind of injury limit that person from being able to perform their daily activities. So it would be harder for someone who has spinal cord injury to get up from bed, especially if they have a spinal cord injury that's like in the C's. So it would be harder for them to, because they may be paralyzed all the way down, so it's harder for them to get up and all that stuff. So our job is to help them live as independent as possible, help them engage in your daily activities as possible. And also that's the physical aspect of it. We also do mental stuff. So mental stuff meaning that we can work with someone who has a mental disability, and it could be anything. So OTs, you may see an OT doing stuff like exercises to increase motion and strength. You may see us doing training and activities of daily living, like I said, so dressing, bathing, grooming, and all that stuff. We also do coordination training. We do stress management. We do handwriting and fine coordination instructions. So most of the time those are more geared towards kids. We may also do some sensory stimulation. We may do some upper body strengthening. We do mobility training. We do hand function retraining. We do gross and fine motor coordination. So we do a whole lot of stuff. We also do cognitive and perceptual retraining. I love the field because there's so many things that we can do. We are not just bound to doing one specific thing. We are like so diverse, and there's so many things that we can do. The possibilities are like endless almost. So where do we work? OTs work in hospitals. We work in rehab centers like I mentioned before. We work in nursing facilities. We work in home health, outpatient or inpatient. And OTs can also open their own private practice. We also work in the school system. We work in the community setting, work programs. We even work in prisons. So basically OTs can really work anywhere. You can find us in the hospitals. You can find us in the schools. You can find us basically anywhere that we are needed. So we treat all ages, so anywhere from birth all the way up to hospice. So we do all that, and in between we treat a lot of people. So what kind of people do OTs work with, like what kind of diseases or diagnosis? I'm just going to mention some because we work with a whole lot. Down syndrome and stuff like that, cerebral palsy. We also work with people who have experienced spinal cord injury, people who may have experienced TBI, dementia, someone who had a stroke, hip or knee replacements, depression, cancer, arthritis, burns, ADHD, all that stuff. So we work with a whole lot of different diagnoses as well. So the second half of my video, I'm gonna talk about school requirements. So meaning like if you want to get into OT school, if you are interested in this field, which I think everybody should be an OT because it's such an amazing, fulfilling like career, and I cannot wait to graduate and start practicing. Just the training alone, I'm like so psyched about it, and I'm so excited about every little thing, and I want to know everything. So OTs are required to get their master's degree. They used to have a program where you just graduate high school, you start college, and I believe it's 5 years, and after the 5 years you graduate with your master's in OT. But they're starting to fade out that program to be able to do that. So what I did personally was I went to college for my degree in psychology, so a BS in psychology, and then in addition to that I also took additional classes in order to get into OT school. So the classes that I took was like functional anatomy 1 and 2, and some other requirements that I don't remember. I know I was a psych major, so I took a lot of the requirements that was needed in my psych courses, but every school is different. Every school required different things, but I also did some field work or clinicals or whatever you may call it. I did that as well, even though my school didn't require it. I did it because I wanted that experience for myself. So some schools may require you to take physics, chem, bio, and all that stuff. Like I said, it depends on the school and what they want you to have before you apply. So one more thing that I forgot to say is that once you get your master's in OT, they are starting to, it's still in the works to require OTs to get their doctor's degree, but it's not certain yet. They kind of want to make it just like PTs because like I said in the beginning of the video, that OTs basically do the same thing as PTs do, even though we have different goals. So they're trying to require that we get our doctor's degree in OT, but that's not like written down. It's not in stone yet, so it's still in the play. I mean, I haven't thought about, I always wanted to get my doctorate degree, but I haven't thought about doing that with OT, but we'll see how I feel once I graduate. Maybe now that I haven't graduated, I'm like, do I want to spend another 2 to 3 years to get my doctorate? I don't know. But that's an option if you want that option. If you do want that doctor in your name, you can most certainly do that with OT. Probably in the next 2 years, it probably will be something that is available for us. So thumbs up. So if you feel like you don't want to get your master's, you can also get your associates in OT and become an occupational therapist assistant. Occupational therapy aides don't need any kind of schooling. We train them on the job. So a field that's they're available if you are interested. I'm not sure about the educational background or the pay rate for occupational therapist assistants or aides, but I do have the pay rate for occupational therapists with their master's degree. The highest pay rate that I've seen, and wherever this place is, I need to research it and I need to go work there, because the highest pay rate for an occupational therapist is $109,000, $380 for a year, and the lowest that I've seen online is $51,310, which it says 10% make $51,310. I don't want to be in that bottom. I want to be in the top with the 109s, okay? But the average, mostly the average is $83,430. So that's pretty good for, you know, for what we do. And also lastly, OTs was classified as the #9 best healthcare jobs to have. And on the 100 jobs, OTs placed 13, the 100 best jobs to have. So personally, I really think OT should be maybe like #1. Not maybe, it should be #1, because we do so much and there's so many places where you can work. You are not just limited to working in the hospital. You can work in, you can do outpatient, inpatient, you can work in nursing facilities, you can work in the school system, you can open your own private, you can even do home where you go to people's houses to treat them. So there's so many different settings that you can work. There's so many diagnoses. You can work with babies, you can work with teens, you can work with young adults, you can work with older adults. So there's so many possibilities and there's so many things that you can do with an OT that I feel like is one of the most fulfilling careers out there. And I am so glad and I'm so blessed that I was able to find out about this career. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is because when I started college, I didn't know what an OT was. I didn't know anything about it, and I learned about it from other people, and I learned about it from doing research. And I am just blessed that I found out about this. I'm blessed that I'm doing this, because it's such an amazing job. It's such an amazing career, and I cannot wait to graduate and to practice it. Most OT schools take 2.5 years to graduate. My program takes 3 years to graduate, which is cool, because mostly the last year I'm doing more fieldwork, clinicals type stuff, so that's fine. So every school is different. If you have a school in mind, you have to do your research, because I know some schools require GRE. My school didn't. But I can put the link of my school down below too if you want to check it out. It's a really good school. I think OTs are just the best. I really do. It's not, I'm not being biased because I'm an OT. I'm like being really serious. I'm being really serious. It's an amazing career choice. So if you are in college, if you're in high school and you are not sure what career that you want to go into, I really strongly advise that you look into occupational therapy and you do your own research. Maybe even go on the job site at a rehab center somewhere to see what we do, because it's amazing to help people, rehab people, and to help them live a fulfilling life. I think there's nothing greater and there's no better feeling than to just see someone and help them get better, and I just cannot wait. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let me know what other videos you guys want to see. I am open to ideas and I will try my best to do my best. So until next time, bye. God bless. Like the video.